And welcome back. Well, it's early signing day, and, well, let's just come out with the biggest news. No, it's not as bad as last year, getting blindsided by Travis Hunter, #1 recruit in the country, leaving us at the altar. But it's not too far from that. Keldrick Falk, our second highest rated recruit in the class, at a position of need, defensive end, has flipped to Auburn. And again, it's not as bad as last year. 1, he's not ranked as high. 2, the warning signs have been there since the weekend. But still, man, it's just frustrating. Because now the class, as of this moment, is ranked 21st on 24/7's composite team rankings. 21st in year 3, after a 9-3 season. 21st at FSU. That should never happen, but there are some guys in the class that, are players I like. I don't want to be all negative, like Hakeem Williams, 5-star. Obviously a nice get. I like Lamont Green, a legacy 4-star pass rusher. Lucas Simmons is a stud at offensive tackle. We did add a guy today, Edwin Joseph. He's a high 3-star, borderline 4-star, depending on what site, from South Florida, defensive back. It's a good ad. Looks like, if you read the reports, a safety by the name of Hussey is likely to flip to us from Penn State. He's a 4-star guy from South Florida. So that'd be another nice ad, but you were hoping, after a 9-3 season, that at the very least, you'd be able to hold on to all your top guys and then add a couple. I didn't expect this class to ever creep up into the top 10. I mean, you just started so far behind the 8 ball, coming off of 2 losing seasons. Well, really coming off of, 4 losing seasons if you count the previous regime. I didn't expect the class to get into the top 10 or anything. There's always going to be a cap because you started recruiting this cycle with that context. But as the season went on, you thought, okay, we're in the teens. I could see us, if we hold on, add a couple, maybe we wind up between 10 and 15, which is still not where you ultimately want to be as a Florida State fan, but certainly acceptable with all the context. But now you're sitting 21st. When they add this Penn State safety, this blue chip safety, chances are that probably bumps the class to, 19 or something, 18. I don't know. I don't have the fucking class calculator in front of me. But there's no question. You can laud what this staff has done. They inherited a mess. They've been killing it in the portal, especially the last portal cycle. And they just won 9 games. In all likelihood, barring some ridiculous upset, they're going to beat a subpar Oklahoma team who has a lot of their best players sitting. So it's going to wind up being a 10-win season. Nice. They're killing it in the portal again, right? They have 2 transfer tight ends already who are both rated 4 stars out of the transfer portal, like a transfer rating. They got Daryl Jackson, a solid defensive tackle. He might be a 4-star in the transfer rankings. They got 3 offensive linemen in the last 3 days, one of which could be all conference. Byers from UTEP. He's a 4-star guy. Roddick, probably a starter. And then Keandre Jones was a 4-star out of high school. Had a first couple good years. Kind of got, too big and needs to shed some weight. But likely at least a depth piece. So you've already got off to a great start in the portal. But if you're looking long term, man, it's going to be awfully hard to get to a point where you're competing for natties and college football playoff appearances. Like next year, it might happen, right? Florida State has Travis coming back. They have all these guys coming back, some of which haven't even announced yet. Maybe Verse comes back, which would be gigantic. Maybe Fabo comes back. The schedule looks pretty weak. There's no more ACC divisions, so you can lose to Clemson in the regular season and still get a rematch in the ACC title game. Which, by the way, given what we know of what's coming back and what's been added so far in the portal, the expectation should be a 10-plus win regular season and an ACC title game appearance. Like that's the next step. That should be the expectation based on what's coming back. But going into the following season, it was already going to be tough because Travis is obviously leaving. His eligibility would be gone. You're going to have to hit the reset button with Duffy or Glenn. It was already going to be tough. It becomes that much more tough if you're not continuing to stock elite talent from the high school ranks, letting guys marinate till they're ready. And again, like I said, this current class has some nice players in it, but you don't have enough good players to where you can expect after Travis and all these guys leave after next season to continue to be like, oh, yep, 10 games is definitely happening. It's just going to be that much more difficult. We see it with all these top teams do every year, Georgia and Bama. They're always in the top of the rankings. It's not a fucking coincidence. And yes, the portal's mitigating some of the high school recruiting deficiencies, but that's got to change next class. No exceptions. You know, especially as I said, if they meet expectations with an ACC title game appearance, you know, win another 10 games, maybe make coaching changes. 1 or 2 are rumored. Maybe they don't get fired, but 1 or 2 they might just let walk because their contracts expire. With all of that, that should portend to a 2024 class, so next class, residing in the top 10. You're Florida State. You will have come off 2 10-win seasons. Again, if this all comes to fruition next year. And I think it's a good chance. Again, the schedule's really weak. A lot of guys coming back. The offense should be top 10 again, if not better. We'll see what happens on defense. But that has to happen. Top 10 next class. There's no spinning continuing to be in the 20s or around the 20th ranked class at Florida State. None. Don't waste your energy spending it. High school recruiting is subpar at the moment. No spin. None. But anyways, maybe there will be a surprise we don't know about, but I'd expect the class, based on what's left, to finish around 20-ish. And now we just need to move on and hope they can pull in Fentrell Cypress, who's like top 2 or 3 transfer guy, defensive back from Virginia. Much needed. That DB room needs improvement. Hopefully they can secure the services of the Western Michigan defensive tackle. I think his name was Fisk, whatever it is. That would be huge, right? Secure up a couple more of those really impact transfers, and then look forward to the bowl game. And the 24 class has already gotten off to a good start. I think they have 5 or 6 commits, and I think they're top 5 in the country right now. That class needs to be on fire. No exceptions. Oh, and again, hopefully maybe we hear news of Verse or Fabo or both returning, which would be incredible. All right, till next time, I'm out.